Hey, hello guys. Hope you're all doing okay. Let's check. Yep, all good. Yeah, so this is going to be the last asset-based stream for this project. Obviously, I said at the end of the last stream that I'd spend some time finding some lighting setups and all that sort of stuff. I have done that. I've got some kind of work in progress comps that I'll show you guys. But yeah, this stream is just going to be finishing touches, tiny details, quick fixes, whatever it takes, just to kind of get some quick wins on the asset, improve it a tiny bit for the final renders, and then after this stream's done, whatever I have is what I'm calling finished. I'd much rather have a finished project than a perfect one. So a perfect one that isn't finished. So yeah, we're just gonna push through it. It'll primarily be a little bit of groom and a tiny bit of sculpting, but sculpting on the tie. The face I'm fairly happy with. There's issues with it. The texturing falls apart completely, like once you get past this part of the body, and the groom itself doesn't hold up because it's very underdeveloped. But we're rendering this project from the front, so we don't need to care too much about the fact this isn't developed. However, if I wanted to fix this, it would take like a week or two. But I gave myself a deadline. That deadline was the 14th to be finished, ready, done, and I need to render by then. So yeah, we're just going to do things that kind of help improve the face. In terms of the presentations, I've got 3 lighting setups. So this is the newest one. Hey Ilio, how's it going, man? But yeah, so this is the latest. All of these are half-res renders, so 1K tall and I think 1,400 pixels wide. Final ones will be 2K tall. And obviously I've cropped them so they're not all the same aspect ratio. But yeah, so first presentation is this one. This one's like, although not faithful to the painting, the reference, it's more faithful. So it's got that general kind of warm thing and brown background. Most of this is actually just a HDRI from HDRI Haven. I've added a rim light and tweaked some values, but really nothing major. I'll get a link to which map that is, and I'll put it in ArtStation when I post the whole project. But yes, this is number 1. I like the kind of extra little bit warmth, and it's again slightly faithful to the reference, although the shadows are much brighter in this than the ref. We then have a flash photography version, which I'm desaturating. It's pretty simple. It's literally just oh, that's not the one I want to change. Just a front-facing light with a extremely dim HDRI, like it barely does anything at all. And then I'm rendering it in black and white just because it's a different presentation. Although this is the render that shows the red eye thing working. The color's too red, but that's a quick fix that we'll probably do today. So this is the second presentation, and the third, and the one that I spent probably the most time on, is this one. So this is the one where we're going to have the smoke in there. We still got some render buckets in the render. But yeah, this is the one where we're rendering with the smoke. We're doing lighting that kind of shows off some more of the forms, gets the eyes going a bit nicer. And we're doing some cat eye bokeh in the background, all that sort of kind of generic stuff. This is the primary image of the project, I think. It's also the heaviest to render, because it's the only one I'm rendering the smoke in. That's the heavy bit. But yeah, so those are the 3 presentations. Those are the 3 kind of quote-unquote final images we'll be doing. And then yeah, from there, it's literally just a case of doing some quick refinements, fixing some stuff up. Might add a tiny bit of breakup to the cloth, because the fabric is very plain right now. But then the clothing was never really the focus. But yeah, so I guess we should just get started. I need to get my whack on. But yeah, so the main things I need to work on, or the things that are bothering me the most, is this area is way too clean. As in, like, there's no like hair or anything there that could be used to break it up. So I kind of want to break up the this shape a little bit. So we're just going to add the kind of nose hair groom. The ears, which show up most in this one. The peach fuzz is there, but I think it's a bit short. I kind of want to play with something that's a bit brighter. So we're going to add a little bit longer peach fuzz on the ears. And we might add some earlobe hair as well, maybe. We'll see. I mean, it's an incredibly simple groom to do. And yeah, also the eye is broken in this render. This eye is missing its textures, and that eye has them. Not sure why. But yeah, and then this one doesn't really reveal any specific flaws. Like there's issues with it. Again, the red eye being too bright, but the lighting flattens everything out, and that's kind of the point of it. So it's not the best one to refer to for asset fixes, although it does still show the lack of hair around the nose. So we'll get that fixed. But yeah, so I'm gonna save this and close it because we don't need it anymore. So we're just going to create some new grooms. Although for the nose hair, I might just add it as an additional bit of mustache. In fact, no. Let's do the quickest fix first, which is a peach fuzz, because that's an existing groom. I need to get my whack on. Give me one moment. But yeah, if there's any questions about any aspects of this project, this is the stream in which to ask, because I'm kind of free and available to, you know, dive through files and that sort of stuff. The next stream will be dedicated to comp, and obviously if I go looking around files and find something I need to fix, that's going to be a bad time because I already have spent a night and a half just rendering frames. But yeah, that's the Wacom setup. But yeah, so let's go to the peach fuzz, which is in, where's grooms? There it is. Grooms. So we're going to hide the peach fuzz for a moment, and we'll go in to here. Yeah, so we just want to increase the length and probably stand these up. But in fact, I need to get some actual good ref. Let's find head rim light is. Let's see if I can find some rimlet is as ref. If I can't, so be it. I'll just kind of do what I think looks good. Yeah, we can see a bit more. I mean, granted, this is a kid, but yeah, we got a bit of this stuff going. So I think that's what I want to get in. I'm going to add a little bit more fuzz on the ears to get that. I do like the way the clothing fuzz is reading her. But yeah, let's get that in first, because ours is completely missing that. We may need to boost the density as well to achieve that look. But no matter what, this isn't going to hit that note. So let's go into Groom, Tool Settings. Oh yeah, before I forget. Yeah, wants to drop away. Yeah, so let's grab Rin World Axis. Let's just elevate them up. Okay, we need a few more guides up here, I think. Gonna increase the length, but then I'll cut them down to a more reasonable length. But we'll do that once we've got the shapes in place. Come on, there we go. One of the things we want to work on as well is the beard. There's a bit of a lack of flow variation in the beard. But like from the front kind of silhouette thing. In fact, I can jump in and show you. In fact, I've closed Nuke. Never mind. I can't jump in and show you anymore. Okay. You next. Okay, and once I got them all, I'll just cut them to the length I want. Okay, and then lift you up. Same way you. Okay, then let's cut them. So about there. I need to remember that my my node graph at the moment is set to cut all of the hairs shorter, so none of them will reach the length that the guide says it will. I think that will do. Yeah, that will work. Okay, let's check the peach fuzz groom. I think they're being rendered considerably denser in Katana, but let's double check. Peach fuzz, 5 times density. Yeah, so that would probably work just fine then. So, yeah, 5 times density, that should be fine. I don't know if I even have a density map in there to control it anyway. Oh, I do. Interesting. Okay. If we don't get the look that we want, we can go into Mari and update that. But that should do for now, so let's just Alt-save. So one of the other things I wanted to do was... Let's get into Catalog. Which render was it? The beard on this side feels a bit flat. I kind of want to flick it out just on one side, just to have some hairs that are kind of standing up. And I think this side is the best candidate for it. Because, yeah, that one it looks more boring. There's also this weird lump thing going. It works on this side because it's always the most lit side. But yeah, I kind of want to get a little bit more standing hair. So we'll do that. So that's the next thing. Let's go into the beard. In fact, we need to export this. Yeti, export Groom, selected Yeti node. And then my computer. Okay. Cool. So then beard. Let's get into the beard Groom. So yeah, let's add a few extra guides to this side. Well, we will have to turn off the x-axis though. So let's get a guide right in there. And this guy we're gonna flick out, have him do some fun stuff. Again, I don't want to play with the length or anything like that. I just want him to create a new shape. We'll need quite a lot of guides in this area to reinforce that. We won't want all of them to follow it though. I think this one will just have curl back. Curl him around them. Have it react to it, but like curl down slightly. Just help us get something a bit more interesting. I feel that's what drives me, like, as an artist, is just making things that look interesting. Not necessarily correct, not necessarily good, just new. At least new for me. Let's keep this one. Again, have it get influenced, but not taken with. Okay. Get a guide in there. Okay, these two where it flattens back out. Then I think that one I still want to be more influenced. Like that. There we go. That should give us a more interesting shape from the front. Again, it won't be a huge difference, and given the amount of scraggle that we have in our beard, it will get destroyed a little bit. It just gets a little tuft going. It's very broken up though. It's got a little bit of something going on. It's not as flat as the other side. Okay. But I'd say that's all we needed. The hair here needs a bit of work, doesn't it? I feel like we need more guides at the bottom as well to help it along. Why is the width dying off so quickly? Okay, we're gonna need Mari. Excuse me, Mari. Granted, well, other than the guide stuff, the width changes is a Mari thing, so I think I'll just extend it back a little bit, but like soft. And technically, I should update the texture back here, the skin texture, because I think, although I can't confirm, this asset is going to be given away. But like, can't confirm yet. It's part of my deal with the Foundry. As I get software and they get assets, and this asset has gone fairly well and potentially could help people learn how to do stuff. So, although I'm not sure what software it would come with, if it comes with any. Okay, there's our density. So where's our width? Beard width. Okay, so we need 0.5 painted down here. Maybe we can do that in a moment. We need to stay focused. Okay, get the beard groom back out. So the hair's reaching all the way down here, which I think is a bit far. I need to help this area out. In fact, yeah, this is too symmetrical what we're doing. Beard groom. So we need to get guides all the way to the bottom as well. So groom, tool settings. Then we're going to start off with some guide adjustments first. Let's keep some asymmetry going. We're still going to have it all pointing towards the camera, which is a bit of a problem. But if that's what the ref calls for, then that's what the ref calls for. And that is just how hair flows down here typically. Although I could lean it way over, and that would help that appearance a little bit. If I do something more like that. We'll find out in a moment, I guess. Let's add a guide down here. Okay, I need to disable strands, create mesh vertices. Okay, let's get a guide down here. And this one we're just going to like flatten towards the neck. We will have to shorten him quite a lot as well, I think. But we'll have the hair flow up a little bit. Let's do something a bit interesting here. Let's create like a almost knot where like the hair changes direction really quickly. I'd say like a little thing here. Again, this sort of stuff to like properly get into your renders takes a lot of guide work, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just trying to kind of experiment to create something more interesting. Again, if you add some of this stuff in, although it won't read clearly in the render, it will look different. And it may get the effects that you're after, depending on what you're after. In my case, I just want a shape change. Although now I've got too much of this, so it's kind of a difficult one. Okay, I'm gonna sample the length for this guy, apply it to the ones below as well. This is not too long. That honestly might be all we need. Let's get a guide under the ear just to do something fun with. Annoyingly, that kind of did the shape that I wanted it to. But I always hate placing a guide and then not moving it. Because that means that the interpolation would have done the exact same result. Nah, don't like that. So I just need to message someone. Okay. Hey Chun, how's it going? Yeah, that one's going too far. Okay, sorry, just checking. In your final year already, Jesus. Wasn't you in first year when you first reached out to me? Okay. I think that'll do. The other things we need to update are all Mari based, so. Hide that. Show that. That feels better. Okay, let's get that exported. Yeti. Forbid. Okay, and then while we're here, let's just paint. I'm going to go with the pepper brush. I really like the pepper brush. And then let's set grey. Yeah, he was. Jesus. That's crazy. Also makes me feel older. It's like you've gone through the entirety of university while I've been... Well, you've almost gone through the entirety of university while I've been doing these streams. Okay, let's set this to 0.5. Get this all hollowed out. You have, yeah. Thank you for that. Moving time zones kind of made it difficult, I'm sure. So when I started, I lived in London. Then I lived in Northern Ireland. Now I live in Canada. Okay, so we're going to export this. That's not what I want. Width. Export. Okay. So then, the other two grooms, what I might have to do actually, so that's disabled. I'm gonna test render like that region. And it's this one. I've changed my layout a little bit just to accommodate the other renders a little bit better. Okay, so that's going. So next thing is nose hair grooming. I feel like I need to get a little bit of stuff in the mustache here too. Although, I don't really need to in that case. Like, he might just not have hair here. We're going to add some little hairs in here. So let's grab body geo, Yeti, create Yeti node and mesh. And this is going to be fur, nose, hair. This is going to be like such a quick groom to make. Drag that into here. Okay. Then graph editor. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. And boop. Okay. That should be all we need. Well, and a width node. Which is... I always lose the width node. There it is. Okay, actually width node will copy from the mustache. Where is it? There it is. Oh, wait, that's not what we want. That's what we want. Okay, copy. There we go. Okay, so we got that. So we need a groom. So let's go Yeti. Quick groom on mesh. This is going to be fur, nose, hair, underscore groom. GRM. Okay. It's always cool to see your progress though. I love how you present your work. Thank you. So, edit groom. Radius of influence. I'm gonna save before this crashes my scene. I'm gonna just groom it live. As in, like, just have the groom visible. So first we'll just get a groom in there though. So there we go. We'll obviously cut them down, but for now, what I'll do is just get some guides in there. Hey Archive, how's it going, man? So for that we'll do. And then what we'll do, we need to drag this into our nose hair. It's not another corrective grooming, no. Graph, input grooms. Groom group, utility group, nose hair, U. Okay, now go into nose hair, import. In fact, we can close this. So we've got the outliner in this. Good, but went on a horrible date. Oh no! That's not good. I'm sorry that was such a terrible date. I'll try better next time. Okay, so go into our scatter, 100. Might be a bit much. Okay, yeah, that's a bit much. Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Happy to be almost finished with this project, honestly. But and it's been what, 5 months? That will work. I always forget the God, what is it? It's not rand. Let me go check. I need to find something with a rand. Has to be one somewhere, right? Hash. That's the word. Okay, so in fact, actually, in this case, we need pick anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. But let's do pick ID. Let's go 1,300 to 2,200 divided by 1,000. No, not 100. Okay, and then in either case, it looks like we need more. We don't want any relaxed steps. Oh, it's in the grow. I always forget, like when I'm building a groom for the first time in Yeti, every single time I'll forget where things are. 16 is more than enough actually. Just my noise has been too high frequency. So let's go 800. Okay, let's go 8. Oh no, 0.8. Okay, 0.8 is working fine. Oh, because it's still divided by 100. Okay. So maybe that was fine. Yeah, it was okay. Although, let's go higher. There we go. Can we get a webcam feed up your nose as reference? Dude, my only body hair is in places you wouldn't want on camera. Don't play these games with me, Rahul. Where's this come from? That's not good. I got a broken reference somewhere. Okay, so let's grab this guy. Tool settings. I'm just going to cut all the nose hair to roughly the length we want, which I'm going to say is... I'm going to go quite long, but then I'm going to be adding length randomness anyway, so... I do quite like the cut brush, it's a very nice feature. Allows you to get some very specific effects, which is always nice. Okay, I wish there was a way to like grow with a cut type brush. That way you just grab the tip and like pull it, and it will just in screen space add length. That'd be really nice. Let's comb all these. And the hair's going to need to be a bit thinner than this, I know that much. I'm going to need some extra guides at the bottom as well. Because the way this is set up right now is it will only grow hair within a certain distance of guides, specifically this distance. Which essentially allows you to avoid creating maps for things. Which I really like, personally. I think I'm going to need to sculpt these, though. Okay. Let's add some new guides. Conform new strands. Let's get a guide in there. Let's get a guide in there. We may have to reduce the radius. Because we're getting some hairs going a bit further than I want. So what we're going to need is these hairs to lift up to match the mustache. So they somewhat blend in. Okay, I'm going to need to hide the nose hair here. Resampling. Okay. See, shorter hairs do stand up more, so I need to consider that when I'm grooming these. Something like that gets us some nice, interesting shapes. Tiny mustache inside his nose. Okay. So, definitely not perfect, but functional. So let's see how the hair looks, and then we'll just quickly adjust the, yeah, so the width needs to obviously go down. And we need length variation too. So, go into here. So length variation is the easiest thing to quickly add, because we are now done. Although we're going to bias towards the top. There we go. What length bias does is it means that the maximum cut is still reached, but hairs are more likely to be on the longer side. So you get effects like this. Width needs to go down, for sure. So let's get that in there as well. And I'm also going to multiply this by length. So let's do 1 mul length. And then we can find a setting that works. I think that works. Let's reduce the root scale a little bit more. There we go. And then width. We'll probably override the density in Katana. So export Groom set to the Yeti node, yes. For nose, hair. Thanks, Yeti. Then we just need to duplicate that setup for the ear as well. So duplicate you. I'm just going to call this ear hair. In fact, do we need it? I don't think we need it. The peach fuzz may have done what we needed. Oh yeah, I can't delete it from here. But let's check on Katana. Okay, our densities need to kind of go way up on the ear. Yeah, way up. Like easily triple. I'm wondering how much the light is playing against me here as well. Let's check the albedo. Yeah. May also need to remove it from the inside here, because I'm not sure how much peach fuzz you get inside the ear. Something I've never really checked ref on too much, to be honest. Okay, so nose hair is added. Eyelashes we wanted to touch up at some point, and then we'll move on to the tie, updating the sculpt. So, let's move you two over, because you're clothing grooms, not primary grooms. So we just want one more for nose hair. Yeah, don't want that. Okay, never mind. Head hair 1, fur coat, and then shirt. Okay, so this one, so I need to straighten these up. There you go. That's beyond frustrating, but okay. There we go. Alright, so head hair 1 obviously needs to change. Fur groom, nose, hair. We don't have any groom maps, but we can keep that in. I don't think it actually makes a difference. Width, we want no adjustment for now. That's all fine, because this doesn't need to change. Okay. And then, does my setup automatically apply a hair shader? I'd need to add a template hair shader. I can do that in a moment. Let's look into the peach fuzz density first. Where's peach fuzz? Oh, it is. So mask. Let's see what the mask looks like. Why does that mask have... Okay, let's quickly fix that. Kind of terrifying too. Why are these in here? Okay. Solid. Brush. One brush. Oh, it's one of these again. I don't know how well this comes across on stream. There's a very slight artifact appearing in different areas. It may not come across at all, honestly, because I'm struggling to see it on my screen. Mine's not being filtered the way yours is. It's right there. It's like a line that follows the edge of the brush. I need to chat to the foundry. Find out what's going on. Yeah, there it is. See it forming? There seems to be something with my aces config, to be fair. Because I've never had this with Mari before. Either way, that's going to be solid enough now. So let's get that exported, and then we'll check on density. That's eyelashes. Peach fuzz mask. Export. Okay, and then we'll check on density. That's actually exactly what we want. Okay. Well, are we getting this symmetry thing going on? We have to blur that to get the effect we want. Okay, so now we've got that. Change to paintbrush with slow flow enabled. Granted, none of this really makes a difference, given that the beard covers this entire area. Okay, we'll enable projection mirroring for this. I'm going to need to, I'm in orthographic already, which is good. I'm going to need to paint through. And we're just going to paint white. Just to catch that end. Okay. Let's do the thing we have to do. Blow it back. Just to stop there being like a wall of hair. And then we'll decrease the density inside the ear again. Because you do get peach fuzz inside the ear, but I don't think it's as much as I currently have. Let's just get back in and paint a bit more white. If it's too much, it's really easy to fix. Oh, shit. God damn it. When did I hit project? Yeah, that's worked. Okay, so, but yeah, we'll see if it works first. Peach fuzz mask, export. Wait, no. Okay. See how this renders. Oh, I didn't add a material to the nose. One sec. Or nose hair, I should say. So materials. Let's go to the groom. I'm just going to copy the eyebrow material, I think. In fact, no, I can't. I need to give it its own material. Okay. Let's copy the eyelash material. Then duplicate. And then we're just going to call this one nose hair. Then we're just going to call this one nose hair matte. And assign it to anything containing nose hair. Next for nose hair, cool. And then do the same for material. We want peach fuzz. Oh, sorry, eyelash. Duplicate. Nose hair mat. Dive in. Find our nose hair material. Okay, so that's copying the layer that we don't want. Huh? Oh, this. Okay. So it's actually just this bit we want to copy. Okay. I think we'll want to change the amount in the base layer. Yeah, so let's set this to like 4. In fact, no. 5.5. Should work fine. Maybe a little bit less redness. Tip I'm okay with. I think that carries through automatically. If it doesn't, then we just don't get the tip fade that it should have. Okay, so let's go to this point in the graph. Geo, grooms, nose hair, attributes, nose hair map, good. And then, yeah, that's fine. Util flush caches. In fact, no, we don't want to flush cache right before we render. Monitor. Catalog. Delete this one. That was really quick. Granted, it's all cache, but let's still. Just need to let this clean for a bit. Oh, it's albedo I want to check. Yeah, we got the nose hair in there. A little bit chunky, but... In fact, yeah, he's old. It's going to be near white. It shouldn't be black anymore. Well, most of it shouldn't. Okay, while this is going, we know for a fact that we need to update the tie. Because the tie model's really bad right now. So let's get ZBrush opening. Okay. Open file. And we want to go to projects, person projects, John Singer Sargent. Modeling, ZBrush, Break sim. Now something I need to mentally track is the fact that this model isn't the same as the one I've got in Maya. We'll update that now before I forget. So let's just grab U, file, export. And we're just going to go to modeling, Maya, exports, body geo. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Back into here. Import. Okay. There are some extremely subtle changes that were made. Like, extremely subtle. There we go. Like, this level of subtle. Just so it's not perfectly symmetrical, it was bothering me a little bit. Granted, this still isn't enough of a breakup, but again, this project's outstayed its welcome. But yeah, the tie is the focus, so let's just get this saved back out. So now our Maya and ZBrush models are back in sync, which is really important. Okay, how's the Katana render going? It's better. It's potentially still not enough. So I'm going to Mari, and I'm going to make sure that this reaches a value of 1. So let's update that. Okay, and then we're just going to blur our way to salvation. Then we will have to fix some stuff after, but that's fine. Because this is going to have way too much hair now. Set that back. About there. Okay. It's gonna look crazy, but let's give it a go. Export current channel flattened. Okay, save our scene. Don't want to open nuke, but okay. I guess we'll commit to it. This gives us something to review from time to time at least. So let's isolate an even smaller area. That much should do. Then back in ZBrush, I need to find a picture of a tie. I think I have one in PRF. I'm opening all my fucking programs right now. Load recent. Do I have any images of ties? None that seem to be what I need. Close that. My tie is like bodged. Like it's incredibly basic model. Let's make one of them visible at least. Look at that. Finger beauty. It's so poor. So let's start getting some model in there. Alpha 6. So the main issue we got with it is that this form here doesn't make any sense. I think it needs to come from the bottom. And it needs to like fold, like have an actual depth to it. So standard brush. Get some depth in there. BIN, inflate that tiny bit. Okay. Hey Alden, how's it going, man? Yeah, this is the last stream for this series as well. So, well, second to last. But the last stream is literally just comp, so. Let's go brush. Modifiers, set you to 0. I can show you where we're currently up to. Just give me one moment. Let's get a little bit more of a tuck going on there. So, in terms of where we're currently up to. The latest renders are these. So I got 3 different lighting setups currently for this guy. So we got flash photography, which has like a red eye effect, which I need to fix during the stream. It's currently way too red. We then have a warm portrait. There's like a fireplace lighting this, which we're currently working on the fuzz on the ear. And then we've got a more kind of arty thing, you know, clothing disintegrating into smoke, cat's eye bokeh everywhere, because who doesn't love cat's eye bokeh? But yeah, so he's getting there. These are the 3 renders that we'll be finishing with, but they'll all be double res. So I'm kind of spending the stream tweaking the asset, getting the final touches that I want. We'll see how they all work, and then I'll spend tonight and a good chunk of tomorrow rendering at a higher resolution. And then we'll do one more stream, kind of going through and properly comping these, because these are like proxy comps that just ballpark what I want. But we'll be doing like, oh hey, I want a bit more of a caustic effect in the eye, and grading that in, all sort of stuff. But yeah, so we're getting a bit more on the ears, which I'm glad about. Although this might be a bit too chaotic over here. Might need to paint the density lower. There's enough hair there now, though. And that's looking a bit crazy, actually. His ears are so fuzzy. Yeah, in fact, it's gone too far. I think the lighting's just not catching the way I want it to. But that's something we can get in comp really easily. So let's undo those changes. It was probably in a better place before, honestly. What made you choose to model this dude specifically? I just liked the picture. I'm a very simple person. If I see a picture I like, I tend to want to make it. There we go. So let's get that re-exported. Export current channel. But yeah, there's a reference image that I really liked, which is that one back there. Granted, color space issues in viewport, but I really liked this image, decided I wanted to make it. I've got a full ref sheet of like actual photographs of him, because this like seems to have been painted very favorably. Like a lot of John Singer Sargent's like quote unquote flaws, which I hate talking about that sort of shit, but you know, so be it. You can't see as much. So like his eyes are extremely far forward. His painting, the lighting of it and all that sort of stuff doesn't really show that, it hides it. His face is also fairly round, and he's got quite deep like shapes on just above his cheekbone, which the painting kind of hides all those. So mine ended up looking quite different. It's more faithful to the photographs than to this. Granted, it lines up with this, like the eyes are in the right place, nose in the right place, all that stuff. But yeah, it's just a bit. It's not quite where it needs to be. So and we got nose hair now as well. The biggest biggest change we'll make today. We've added some nose hairs. But yeah, so let's see how that goes. And then I need to get an image of a tie. Do you have Twitter? I'll tweet about your stream. Yeah, I have a Twitter. One sec. I can send that to you. There you go. I only made it recently, so follow account's a bit low and all that sort of stuff, but I tend not to really push my social media too much. In terms of like promotion, I just post what I like and move on. Right, so I'm gonna search tie. So I need to find one where the sides of it are exposed. I could just do something really heinous and search like tie on t-shirt, because then there's no collar to hide it. But that's an interesting shape. That's really interesting, actually. Oh, I need to update the bend. In fact, yeah, I should do that. That's not what I want at all. Okay, so hide you, and then we're going to need to pull one side down and one side up. Right. I'll just go back here. Nose hairs for the win. Absolutely. The most important part of every project is its nose hairs. Anyone who says otherwise is just a shill for Gillette. Okay, so that allows us to start really messing with this shape. So let's pull that out. Favorite kind of hackery. So it feels like it's a bit loose overall, so let's just pull that up. Oh, that's clipping there now. I probably should have duplicated the tie so I can see it before and after. I can still do that quite easily, but let me... Where's that ref just gone? Okay. And t-shirt. This is gonna do wonders for my Google history. No, these are t-shirts. Okay, I know I had one image. Like, there's the actual main ref of the project. It doesn't show any detail. Do I have any images? Oh, this one works. Okay, let's recreate this. Fair, that's a really cool shape. Okay, so I should probably put that on screen so you guys can see it. So then this area in general needs to carve in, but then it has one thing in the middle of it, which is like way taller. Okay, my proportions aren't really correct for any of this to work, but let's put this over here. Gonna need to drop the entire thing once I got all this working. Our poor UVs are going to be obliterated by this. Oh yeah, we'll be working on that area in a moment, for sure. I may just need to like reproject the topo on this. Granted, it's all procedurally shaded, so I don't need like specific UVs for anything. Okay, so we need this area to come up a little bit. Because that's not how folds work. BMT. Okay. So let's start getting the planes in there. Go. What's he using for rendering? Arnold and Katana. So our setup is, yeah, it's which version of Arnold? I think it's Arnold 7, like the core 7. That's working. Yeah, that'll do. What's that side? Yeah, that's a bit more reasonable. Okay. Kill that render. Oh, the eyes worked. Nice. Oh, this eye broke. Okay, so... BDS. Yeah, Arnold's great. And even the older versions are fantastic. Like, yeah, ZBrush is a ton of fun. My problem with ZBrush is that I suck at clothing. Like, this sort of stuff is, like, killing my brain. The problem with cloth is that it's got so much kind of, like... It doesn't just come out as a volume. Like, the volume itself will have, like, let me think. So, if you have a flat surface like that, folds don't kind of do that. They kind of do, like, that sometimes... Or maybe they'll do like that and then jump in. Like, they've got these different profiles. They don't just bump out, which is what most brushes like to do. I could use, obviously, the clay brushes, the cloth brushes, but that's just cheating. And if I'm bad at something, I need to work at it, not avoid it. That's how people get good at stuff, right? So, okay. These are all the same thickness, which is causing a bit of a problem. Okay, let's add a little bit of a kink there, so that these two forms merge into one. That will help it feel a little bit more cloth-like to my eyes. Let's get a snake hook. Snake hook's the best for like really precise movements in screen space. Okay, so now we need to move on to this guy. So the first thing I'm noticing is these creases on the side. Also the thickness of mine is completely off. So let's get some creases in there. Fine. Let's would have been quicker just to go the other way at this point. There we go. So, play mesh, play group, group visible. There we go. Hide the mask. No, that's not what I wanted at all. Okay, let's get a kink in there. And we're going to want another little round there. Wherever there's a volume increase, you need a volume decrease somewhere to make up for the material. Okay, we need an opposing shape on this side. Ideally lower. Let's pull that over this way. Let's move one side but not the other. We'll never see it from this angle, but I'm still going to just do something. Doesn't matter what. Just to stop it from being the kind of sludgy shape that it was. Okay, and we want... Let's have... be empty. Okay, so since this has been pushed down, let's... add that. It's not working. There we go. A bit much, maybe. Oh, sorry, I just missed a message. Alright, I'm going to be lurking a while I get stuff done. Fair enough. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. Thanks for stopping by, too. Okay, so these need to connect, because that's just not how. But I feel like that should tuck under. Yeah, that's awful. Okay, so then a tie. We need a lot more asymmetry on this. Even if it's just something like that. Oh, the back's separate poly group. Interesting. Hey, do you have a Discord setup? So I've made one. I just need to figure out how to get bots to like get everything in place. Like I don't want to have a Discord that just immediately gets a raid that shuts it down. Granted, I'm not big enough to require a raid. One person could shut an entire Discord down, but yeah, I have made one. That's better. So one thing I'm going to try is there's a crumple brush which has existed for a really long time. I think this is the perfect time to use it. Where is it? Crumple. Like, it works by jittering your mesh different amounts. It does that kind of effect really well. it also rips your topology. Like, it really ruins your topo. So it's something to use, like, sparingly, but and we'll leave it, I think. I mean, it does its job, but let's just... Yeah, that area needs to be simplified. There we go. There we go. That's a better tile than it was before. Smoothing that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, so I feel like we need to go up a subdivision level. We don't need to go that high, but that high might help. So let's get this exported back out. Oh, I need to check my export settings. And then go to modeling. Maya exports. Tie, I'm going to create sub D1. Cool. So that's where to go. Where do I find the link? There is no link yet. I haven't actually like finished making the group, so I don't want to put a link for it yet. I just need to sit down with someone at some point and be like, hey, how do you do this? And then learn how to properly set up a Discord group. This is bending the wrong way. Okay. I think that'll do. So re-export that. Sub D1. Let's check our katana. Oh, yeah, we actually killed that before. I would quite like to add all these like clothing seams and stuff to the coat, but I'm not sure if it's really worth it. And I could do. Let's just get the tie in here first. File, import, modeling, Maya, exports, sub D1. Then assign preview mat. Clothing. Okay, we got tie geo. I don't know why I can't deslice this. There we go. Okay, so let's get this re-exported. And I may need to update. In fact, no, the tie doesn't have straight fibers. Export selection. Let's go. Oh no, want to cache Alembic export. Okay, go back to modeling, publish, Singer Sargent. I can't. Syngraph, util, publish caches, and try again. There we go. Cool. So, let's see how that renders. matter. We'll just render this bit for now. It's getting a bit wide. Let's let it clean. I'll give it a fair chance. It might clean up into looking okay. That's what I'm hoping. I really would like to get a seam in here. I think that works. It's an improvement. It's not as symmetrical. So, clothing. Let's hide the grooms. That's not what I want. What does that do? Oh, that's the button to flush caches, okay. Let's save our scene. Just going to render this. I might add just a tiny bit of noise to break up the individual fibers. Like literally the tiniest color noise, but just something to do, well, some kind of variation. 'Cause it's so regular. And there's no actual color variation in there. I think the albedo is flat as fuck. Yeah, that's the albedo. I wonder if I can extract a cavity from this. Trying to figure out what the best thing to do would be. Is it kind of rotate it 90 degrees? But yeah, I might rotate it because this ref is going literally the opposite way as mine. It's also a lot smaller, and he's got these really nice like fibers and debris on it, as well as random patches of white. It adds so much more interest than what mine has, and also these. The next project's one where I'm going to be putting more effort into the clothing, but let's rotate the that 90 degrees. So let's go to our cloth shader. Then where's my coat? Coat. There it is. It's in displacement. So it's not actually in color, that's interesting. How do I rotate you? I don't know how to rotate within I actually can go lower. -4. UV transform. What's UV projection? Is that just to create an UV? I like to create some UVs. UV transform. Yeah, this is a rotate. Okay, we can drag that in. We'll see if this allows us to work. Color. So we want that set pass through. Temporarily, we're just going to plug this like that, and then let's render with no changes. Just see if it functions first. Yeah, these are a visual match. Okay, so now if we rotate this, the extra sharpness is coming purely from the map. Let me check the normals. Weird. We've lost detail. Is that coming from that? That was at the -2 before. Let's try that again. That's so weird. The version with less... What the fuck? That's so strange. The version with a lower bitmap bias, unless it just doesn't have that many bitmaps. Okay. Anyway, that's worked, so now we can rotate 90 degrees. And then we can repeat it more. Although we won't repeat it in here, we'll repeat it in here. I just want to see what effects this creates. Did that? It did. Okay, so that's working. And this is a different knit pattern, this is more of a corduroy. Which I did have at some point. Like plugged in, it just didn't do what I wanted it to. We can try it again. It's no harm. Let me just think for a moment. Yeah, we do have a corduroy somewhere. Another question is where? Okay, let's go. Sampling. Browse. So, don't want to use mine for this case. XYZ, cloth, micro, corduroy, 2K. And then it's disp. For TX directly. Okay, let's try this. The tiling will be completely off. In fact, we're probably best looking at normal channel. Oh, lordy. Set that to 1 and 1. That's fascinating though. Look how fine that is. It also shows how nasty my bump map is. But I've got a fractal noise in there just to kind of break it up a little bit. Okay. So that was too much, that's too little. Let's try 20. That's something I need to check. That's an interesting conundrum. One side is going the way that I want it to. There we go. Let's go. Okay, let's plug that in there. And set this to 50. By 50. This isn't pretty. Needs a little bit more strength for that to work. Right, what works better? Obviously this is fucked, which gets hidden by that one, which is annoying. The color changes quite a lot. Gets a lot flatter. We could go even heavier on the disp. Just see what happens. Let's do it. Let's double it. No harm in trying. Shouldn't almost pass. It's missing that fuzz. It actually really needs the fuzz for corduroy. And obviously all textural breakup. Yeah, I prefer my old one. So those back to what they were. That shadow's really annoying. I've checked, it is a shadow. It's weird. Direct. And then check albedo. It's fine. Check normals. It's fine. She's just a lighting doing that. Indirect. Complete fucking black. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Although, okay, angles. This side is the one that's primarily visible in the renders, because this side, in fact, no, complete bullshit. I was thinking about the other render. Let's do the 90-degree rotation. Delete U. And then move this back. There we go. Okay, so what's left to do? We need to check the eyes. In this render. So let's render that. The problem with doing red eye effects in shader rather than like faking it with glows or comp is it's really fucking hard to control. Like, I ended up faking a certain amount of it, but it's still like messing with me a fair bit. I might need to minimize. We're hiding the Groom for now, just because it doesn't actually help. That's too red. Let me just look for red eye. Red eye flash photo. It's not actually far off. I need to tilt it slightly towards orange and slightly less saturated, I think. It's very subtle though. Also, this highlight's too bright. There's something I need to try again. Let me see what it renders like if I just remove the lens. So, go prune. Then let's just scene. I'm gonna go into the eye groups. Okay. And we'll go to the other eye. Remove the lens from that one too. How does it render if I just completely remove the lens? Because it does work without the lens, I'm just using the lens to enhance it. Yeah, because it's incredibly desaturated. Oh, that reflection's at the back of the eye. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. When did that happen? Because that was working in my previous project. Pretty sure I have a mask to isolate inside of the eye. Let's go to our eye material. And then it won't be iris back, it'll be cornea. ISO veins, cornea fall off. That's a limbus. Call, range, sclera back. Let me check my eye. So we've got pupillary rough, cornea coal do not use, vein coal. Where's my inside of the eye map? Let's go back. What map are you? Oh, it's a circle ramp. Okay, so I need to make a map that just makes the inside of the eye non-reflective, without changing the cornea itself. Although the cornea... Oh god, this is... my brain is breaking. Okay, so what we need is a map that from the side view... It's like a gradient front to back. 2-point gradient. So locator A needs to be translated back by 1. 2. What? Oh no, it's this one that needs to be... Oh, that needs to go forward, so 2. And then -2. Okay. 1. 1.2. And then let's have this one -1. So we have a fall off, but it's like here to here. Let's push this back a tiny bit more. Okay, but then we need to isolate that to the inside of the eye. Okay, so create a paint node. That's fine. Then we're going to multiply. Order doesn't matter, but I'm just going to plug it in a different order anyway. In fact, I need that to be a merge multiply, so that it actually can be baked. Merge mult. Come on, darken. Multiply. Okay. And then this needs to paint white on the inside, which I believe which part? That's the iris. That's the iris back. This is the eye itself, right? So let's paint white. There we go. So what we should see is, so we got the gradient, so we know we've got the right part of the eye. That's the gradient we expected to see. So what we should now see is, in perspective, it's still black because the outside itself is, yeah, there we go. So this is now a new channel. Channel, we only need 2K for this. I mean, you could do 1K, but it's small and I need the gradient to be somewhat clean. What do we call it? ISO sclera. Well, I guess retina. How do you spell it? I mean, technically, retina, not retina. Technically, that's wrong. But basically, what I'm creating a mask for right now, it's actually called that. 1 second. Retinal veins. I guess it is. So I'm just trying to find like a definitive diagram. Yeah, it's retina. Okay. Never did I think I'd see the day where I'm creating like ISO maps for the fucking retina. Okay. So that just isolates the inside of the eye. Oh, that will let me fix my... Oh, sick. Alright, this... If this works, this will actually let me fix something else. Save that. I'm going to export you. So current channel flattened. Need to go... Let me just double check that all my maps for the inside of the eye are coming from the same place. So, isocornea is happening here. Publish, call eyes Udem. Yep, so. Okay. This underscore is the convention I'm following. No, .udem. And then we're doing TIFF files. TX. Arnold. TX manager. Let me just check what I'm using. ISO below ref. Yeah, okay. Cool. So ISO Retina is the latest addition to this setup. Fucking horrific. Okay, so publish channels, channel.udem, ISO Retina, export. Export all patches. Technically don't need to, but we may as well. I'm pretty sure I have small touches enabled anyway, so. So, now I need to create a new file node. File. Okay. Texturing, publish, ISO Retina. Oh, wait. Let me just utility raw. Udem. Okay, back into here. No, here. And we need to set this to be. Oh, it's already set to raw data. Okay. It's just displaying weirdly. So in that case, we want to name this file ISO Retina. See if I see it. I still can't believe I'm doing an ISO map for a retina inside an eye. And what we need to do is like merge this to remove reflections and all that sort of stuff. So, refresh, ISO Retina, create TX. Done. Katana. So obviously this is going to be doing nothing so far, that's fine. Let's just go file. Might change my folder structure for the next project to reduce the redundancy. Because currently I have to type the name of a file twice because of my naming. Like I've got texturing, publish, then it's a folder for each texture, and then that texture's name again, .udem. I'm having to type this twice. So it'd make more sense. Obviously, I can't do like udim and then texture names. So I can just do a texture name, and then inside that is only udims. Like literally just like 1001.tx and all that sort of stuff. That would save a tiny bit of time whenever I create a new map. But although it does make things a bit more confusing to look at, probably. Image, ISO, retina. Okay, so we got spec roughness. Do we have anything actually driving the spec? Okay, so we need to do a layer RGBA. Okay. Transmission. LRGBA. Transmission. And then layer 2 is going to be ISO retina. We're just going to remove. No, we need that as a mask actually. Fuck off. Mix. Layer 1. Base. Transmission. Weight. Retina. Cool. So that's one down. We can try rendering that just to see what happens. Need to remove you. Let's see what happens just removing the transmission. And in fact, we also want this to go to you. Is there any difference? This shouldn't be. Ideally, there shouldn't be any difference yet. There's actually a slight difference. The spec's got a bigger fall off. It's kind of something we'd want, I guess. So the next step is to remove the spec using the same map. So we have spec R. Do we have spec? We do not. So let's go to specular. Yep, specular weight is set correctly. So let's just do layer RGB. We're just going to plug this into here. This is going to be set to 1. Base, spec, weight. And this we're going to set to 0. And then 1. Okay, and then yet again, mix, LRGB, spec, weight, okay, and then render that. Again, we shouldn't see too much of a difference. There'll be a little bit, but shouldn't be much. I think it's the coat that's causing a bulk of this issue. Okay, so now we want to remove the coat. Does coat have a weight? It does, okay. LRGB. Oh. RGB. Okay, So this we're going to approach a little bit differently, I think. No. Set it to input. Plug you in. Base. Coat. Weight. And as if by magic. Retina. Coat. Weight. If this doesn't work, I'm going to brute force something. It's still there. What is that reflection? Okay, let me try something. I'm going to emission. Let's set some emissions with this. And I'm just going to set it to use ISO retina. Now I'm not going to use this in the final render. I'm just using this to test something. So emission color, let's just set that to 0, 1, 0. It should be very visible if it's working. Okay. So where the hell is that spec coming from? Either way, we can turn this off. Where could it be coming from? Okay, this is going to completely break the way the eye looks. But I'm going to remove the... in fact, actually, quick around it. I'll have to tidy this up in a moment. Where's the fluid? There it is. Spec. Spec is set to 0. Okay, not what I was expecting. 1.336. Okay, so I'm just going to set it to 1.01, which will make it nearly invisible without actually removing everything. It's going to completely change the look of the entire eye, like the whole thing. Okay, so that's interesting, because we can see the actual shape that the light is making on the back of the eye. But that speck is still fucking there. Where's the speck coming from? That's fascinating, though. So we can actually see it, like the light going through the pupil. This is a shadow cast by the iris. And so that's the red eye effect functioning. This fucking speck. Okay, so we can rule out the fact that the speck is coming from here. Which I'm gonna just straight up remove. Where is it? There it is. Let's remove the fluids. There's not many places it can be coming from, honestly. If it's a backside reflection on the cornea, I'm gonna be mad. Yep, lots of debugging. Oh wait, did it just go away? No, still there. Um, okay. Okay, so if I'm going to remove the cornea. If it goes away now, I mean, that's the only other place it can come from. And the cornea also takes away the sclera, so it's kind of useless information to know if this works or not, but I guess we'll get to see how the eye shades if it's just a pupil, if it's just a iris. I may have been misdiagnosing it the whole time. Is it the back of the actual eye socket that's doing it? Jeez, that's horrific. Oh, because I've got the meniscus, it doesn't know what to do. Okay. All of that very well could have been for nothing. That fits. It's close, but like they don't overlap. It's honestly horrifying. Okay. But it shouldn't be from the eye socket, because they're not overlapping. I can remove the material from the skin and just see if it still functions. Are we still let's just go to IMETS fluid. There we go. Yes, it's not coming from there, it's just being distorted. Okay, so let's remove the skin material, which, if I remember correctly, the base grade doesn't even have spec. Or I can just turn it off. Oh, it does have spec, right? Remove that for a moment. There should be now 0 spec inside the eye. Because it's not coming from the cornea, it's not coming from the fluid, it's not coming from the lens. There's only one place for it to come from. What the fuck? Wait, why is this still got spec? Does it have coat? It does. This is our last shot. I don't know what it could be coming from. And it's not worth debugging for that long, because it only shows up when you've got a light directly in the eye, which the red eye effect is going to counter anyway. It would be nice, though, to have an actual physically correct effect. I don't know where it could be coming from. Very confusing. But not really a problem. So I guess I just have to move on. We can adjust the lens material to filter out as much as possible. I mean, we can technically just set the lens to be opaque and then set the internal reflection color to be what we want, but it feels a bit too cheaty. So let's just... I think while turning off things, there are two different specs we could see. Oh yeah, there are two. So there's this small one here, the white one, which is coming from the surface of the eye. And there's the other one, which seems to be at the back of the eye, but can't tell what it's coming from. And the reason it's gotten bigger is because now that we've got the fluid inside the eye, it's refracting things around. So that tiny area is being like stretched out to like match a distortion of the eye fluid. It's so strange though. Anyway, let's update our lens material. So we got two. We got one that's like physically correct, and then one that's just for this shot, where again we're not adding red eye, we're just filtering the light that's in there. It's already a little bit too saturated though, so let's go saturation 3.5, and hue, let's set you to 4. That's too much. Let's try 4, because it's going to be one of those things that's like insanely subtle for no good reason. Let's shift it a little bit more orange. Let's go 6. Let's nuke it. I say nuke it. It's still like a secondary decimal away, but... One day I will get an eye setup that actually works. There we go. That might be a little bit too orange. But now we can go halfway between those and that will work. So 0.5. I might add a little bit more transmission as well. So 5. Transmission, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Because nothing is fully transparent or transmissive, like nothing at all. I haven't done that on my cornea, I don't think. Like where, you know, there's like a percentage of light that does get reflected away. That isn't specular, like it's actually diffused. A little bit more of a glow in there now. Okay, I think that'll do. We can add a little bit of roughness, which might help blend the background out. Does it have its own roughness? No, it doesn't. Okay. Let's double the roughness. So this is in the territory now of just complete fakery. Like this, if you had an eye lens like this, you wouldn't see shit. Like you'd have the worst vision and everything would be red all the time. And it wouldn't even be a color blindness thing, it'd just be straight up your eyes working, it's just filtering everything out. But if it works, it works. And the key thing is it's not adding color. Well, it's not adding color, it's just subtracting other colors. Like if my transmission color was above 1 here, we'd be adding red light, but we're not doing that. So it's still going to be reactive to what's around it. We're going to set this even lower as well. Okay, and then let's Let's try this. Again, now your vision is really fucked. Like, you're legally blind. I mean, you're legally blind before this point, but now it's insane. I just want to see what this does to that speck. Oh, Jesus, that's super bright now. Why? Why is increasing the roughness doing that? It's kind of pretty in its own way, but like, I don't want it. It's nothing like the refs. Is this so much paler than what I've got? Well, you got something like this where it's like super deep red. I do kind of dig it. What's the luminance doing? The luminance is changing a lot. Okay, I'm gonna set you back to there. So 1% of light is getting diffused. Maybe we need less transmission. Maybe 2% of light is diffused. Because the problem is, like, when I try to find references like the human lens, like, I've tried to look at like medical dissections and stuff, which is horrific. I hate it, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But the problem is when the moment someone's dead and you cut open the eye, like the lens isn't exactly in its normal environment, so you end up losing quite a lot. And it's impossible to know how it shades from that. Yeah, this is not what we want. What do you guys think? Do you prefer old red eye effect or new red eye effect? I can't dig the, like, artistically I can't dig the new one. It's less accurate, but I don't give much of a fuck. It gives a nice asymmetry. Yeah, let's give that a go. Right, okay. So let's do a final test render. We want the coat surface in there. We want you. We want... I just realised what I did earlier, which was stupid. Coat disp. But no, because it was working. Kinda. Yeah, we'll leave it. Turn off prone grooms. Okay. we're going to do a test render of this. And if we like it, and there's nothing that we immediately want to fix, I'm going to call the project finished. I'll spend tonight, like overnight, rendering, and then sometime tomorrow. That should give me, because I need to do 4 renders. I need to render the face from every camera, and then the smoke from, well, the face for every lighting, and then the smoke for one lighting. Because I'm not comping it into the other ones. Let's save this out. So, modeling, ZBrush, break sim. Okay. No changes. You can save, although I feel like I'm gonna be back in here at some point. But I need to 5. Okay. Retina won't need any updates, so we'll just save this. Start it archiving. D drive, projects, texturing, Mari, body, archive. I'll create a new one. And then leave that going for a while. So now what I'm wondering is, when I post this, which one's the primary image? This is always going to be secondary, so it's between these two. This one is the most visually interesting because of the contrast, but to me this one feels the most correct. Like, still CG as fuck. Like, there's a lot missing. My textures are too basic, and it's like the main thing. The sculpt itself is missing quite a lot as well. Shaders are okay. There's something off about the speck on the forehead, but nothing too major. But like, this one enhances what I've got, and this one just feels more natural. And obviously I can only use one of them for like the thumbnail image. I feel like this one's... yeah, this one's probably best for that. Just because this one is like... this one is trying to be quite modern and like have all these like smoke effects and shit. This one is actually being faithful to his art. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Anyone have any questions? Anything you want me to go through? Now's the moment to ask. Because next stream series I'll be doing a more animated style. I'll still be doing like some elements of realistic shading. Like I'll be adding levels of breakup and stuff depending on what the concept artist does. As I mentioned in the last stream, I'm working with a student on the next project. Not my student, though, a university student. I just really like her art style, so I'm going to pay her a fair freelance rate and get some concepts in her art style, and then kind of work with her to push the project. She's going to act kind of as an art director sometimes. I've told her like that university work is far more important, but what do we call it? If she ever wants to like give feedback, I can, you know, given that she knows the character more, I'll take it seriously. The renders take a while in the final version. God, it's taking a while. It might not be helping that I've got so many other things running. Yeah. I'm quite liking the SSS. Arnold's SSS is really nice. And this lighting is quite nice for the meniscus as well. It's bringing it out. I think this one will probably be the first one I render. The one that will take the longest is this boy. But yeah, next stream, I need to wait for this to render, but next stream will be, again, comp based. It'll be whenever I finish rendering, basically. Because I don't want to leave my PC rendering constantly, otherwise it'll burn out. It's already, 2 years old, bless it. Come on, Arnold, you can do it. Okay, so let's see. This stream was always going to be like small differences, but this is going to be pretty funny. I'm wondering if we should add another coat groom, but like one that's a lot smaller and thinner. And if I wanted to be extremely lazy, I can literally duplicate the Yeti node in Katana, because the changes I need to make are length, density, and width, and you can override all of those. Which would be honestly hilarious to do. Add a second groom purely by renderer. I'll say hilarious. Very much not funny, but like... Okay, so we've lost the eye textures, but that comes back intermittently. I might add a secondary coat to the coat. I've already closed my eye, let's get my eye back open. And we'll need to add quite a lot of noise for them. Okay. So, let's go to the coat. Groom. Coat. We can kill this render. In fact, let it keep going because it's not too heavy. I will disable this guy though, because that changes how long it takes to render by quite a lot. Okay. So Maya, let's do your thing. Coat. Let's go to the graph editor. Okay. And so we've got this coat groom. I think we can keep all these. I keep forgetting you can't do that. I really wish Yeti would add like a type search feature. Okay, so this one, let's make it half the width. Okay, width multiplier 0.5. But then we're going to massively increase density, let's say 3. And then length. Half the length. And these ones can have less. Let's go 10 segments. Okay. Yeti export Groom from selected Yeti node. Y computer. Okay. This will make the coat feel a little bit softer. And add that kind of illusion of detail type thing. Well, not really an illusion of detail, but we'll add detail. Be interesting to see how much this differs. It'll be subtle, I know that much. I just need to let this keep rendering. So that level of reflection isn't right. Like, at all. That's way too much. Do I want to go and start fucking about with the shader? Let me check out the coat shader. Groomets. Wait, I need to rename that. What has it been used for? Nose hair. Okay, nose hair mat. So, where's my... Oh, it might be in clothing. Clothing mats. No, it isn't. Yeah, shirt fuzz. That's my coat. So diffuse is pretty low. Spec. We want no shift, which is about right. Roughness is pretty high. Melanin is obviously 0. That might cause issues. Whack. Let's see what this is. It basically shades as if it was a bit more diffuse without actually being more diffuse now. Although I can just add more diffuse to the hairs.
Now let's check the second message. Ready? Mom, the doctor's deodorant discovery now contains M3. Got that? M3 to stop odor 24 hours a day.
Okay, maybe 1 was a bit much, but that works. Actually quite like the look of that. High roughness be damned. Just adds a tiny bit of softness. I might remove the diffuse component actually. It's already quite subtle, but let's just see how it cleans. The alpha's looking a lot better though. We're catching glints, which is kind of what I want from it. And what's our albedo doing? That's just a shader change, that's crazy. I'm just going to set it to like 0.98. It won't change the look, but I just don't like having 1, 0 values. For things like roughness anyway. Right, that will do I think. I'm going to do some more renders. But that'll be it for the stream. Thank you for stopping by. It's been quite a long one actually, 3 hours. Yeah, I'll get these rendered, and in the next stream we will go through and do some comp tweaks. I'll try to get like all my IDs and everything like set up so that we have a bit of an easy time in comp, but we'll probably do quite a lot of roto because it is just still images. We can kind of do as much roto as we like. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed or learned something, or both, hope, ideally. If not, well, I guess you don't have to watch, so it's all good. But yeah, I'll be back probably in a few days. I'd guess Thursday-ish, at latest next weekend. And I will, yeah, finish a project, and then we'll start talking about the next project and how we're going to do that. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and thank you for stopping by.